Welcome to another Analysis Cloud video.
It happened on a quiet Monday. The date was October 20th, 2025. In a cold, clean room, a machine hummed. This was not a normal computer. It was a quantum computer. It had 128 qubits. A qubit is a small quantum bit. It is much more powerful than a normal computer bit. For years, people said a machine like this was far away. But today, it was real. It worked perfectly. It did not make mistakes. Scientists call this error corrected. This machine could solve any kind of problem, and it was ready to use. The world did not know it yet, but everything was about to change. The quiet hum of this machine was the sound of a new age starting. This new machine was not just a little better, bicycle, rocket ship. The change would be very fast. The first big change happened in the world of secrets. Our digital world is built on codes. Your bank account, your email, your government's secrets, all are protected by codes. This is called cryptography. For decades, these codes were very strong. A normal computer would need thousands of years to break them. But the new 128-qubit machine could do it in minutes. Imagine your house has a very strong lock. You think it is safe, but someone just invented a key that opens all locks. This is what happened on that Monday in October 2025. All our digital locks were suddenly useless. This created an immediate crisis. The country that owned the quantum computer now had a powerful weapon. They could read anyone's secrets. They could see other countries' military plans. They could empty bank accounts. The world's digital security was broken. For the first few months, this was the biggest story. Scientists rushed to build new quantum-safe codes. Governments rushed to build new quantum-safe codes. These are new locks that even a quantum computer cannot open. This race was called the Great Quantum Transition. It was a race to fix the internet's broken walls before a disaster happened. The effect was instant. All digital information became unsafe. Think of it like every letter ever sent suddenly becoming a postcard. Anyone with the right tool could read it. This was a huge problem for everyone. Governments, big companies, normal people were all at risk. After the first shock of code breaking, the next big change began. This change was in chemistry and materials science. The quantum computer can see the world of very small things. It can perfectly simulate molecules. A molecule is a tiny building block of everything: water, plastic, metal, and even our bodies are made of molecules. Before, computers could not understand molecules very well. They were too complex. It was like trying to build a perfect car engine with only a blurry picture. You could guess, but you could not be sure. The new machine gave scientists a perfect blueprint. In the first 1 to 3 years, this new power changed how we make things. Scientists could design new materials on the computer. For example, they could design a perfect battery. Light, cheap, hold a lot of power. Amazing for electric cars. Phones. They could also design new medicines. By simulating how a drug works in the body, they could find new cures for diseases like cancer. Alzheimer's. It was like having a superpower. Instead of years of trial and error in a lab, they could find the answer in hours. This ability to create new molecules would help solve big problems. One of the biggest is climate change. Design a material that pulls carbon dioxide out of the air, a special sponge for pollution, or create much better solar panels. Panels that turn sunlight into energy with almost no waste. Clean energy cheap and easy for everyone. We could build a cleaner, greener world. Stronger metals, lighter metals, airplanes, cars, safer and use less fuel, better fertilizers for farming, not just better products. Giving humanity tools to build a better future, one molecule at a time. The quantum computer was like a magic chemistry set. Mix and match atoms to build exactly what we needed. The world of stuff was about to be reinvented. Artificial intelligence, or AI, was already changing the world by 2025. But quantum computing gave it a new, much more powerful brain. Think of today's AI as a smart student who has read many books. A quantum-powered AI is like a student who understands the deep meaning of every word in every book. It can see connections and patterns that were invisible before. This is because quantum computers can look at millions of possibilities all at once. An AI running on this machine can learn faster and solve much harder problems. The age of quantum AI began about 2 years after the first machine appeared. Within 2 to 5 years, we saw a new kind of AI. This AI was much better at creative and complex tasks. For example, it could help design a whole new city. It would plan the roads, the buildings, and the parks. It could make the city green, efficient, and beautiful. In medicine, quantum AI could look at a person's health data and create a unique health plan just for them. It could predict diseases years before they happened. This was a huge step forward for personalized medicine, making everyone healthier. This new AI was also a better partner for humans. It could understand language and ideas much more deeply. A doctor could talk to a quantum AI like a human expert. The AI could help the doctor find the best treatment for a difficult case. A scientist could work with the AI to discover new laws of physics. The AI was not just a tool, it was a creative collaborator. It could take a simple idea from a person and explore thousands of complex versions of it. However, this powerful new AI also brought new worries. An AI this smart and powerful needed to be controlled carefully. If it was used for bad things, it could be very dangerous. For example, it could design powerful new weapons or create very effective propaganda. The world had to learn how to manage this new power wisely. The quantum AI was like a powerful genie. It could grant amazing wishes, but it also had to be treated with great respect and care. The challenge was to use this incredible new brain for good, to help all of humanity. One of the first practical uses of the quantum computer was in logistics. Logistics is the science of moving things from one place to another. It is about finding the best path. This sounds simple, but it is a very hard problem. Think about a delivery company with thousands of trucks. Every day they have millions of packages to deliver to millions of homes. What is the fastest, cheapest route for every truck? A normal computer cannot find the perfect answer. It can only find a good enough answer. It is like trying to solve a huge maze with millions of paths. You just pick one that looks okay. The quantum computer could look at all the paths at the same time. It could find the one perfect answer. In about 1 to 2 years, this changed how big companies worked. Shipping companies could save huge amounts of fuel. Their ships always took the most efficient route. Their trucks always took the most efficient route. This saved the company money, and it reduced pollution. Airlines could use the quantum computer to manage their flights. They could reduce delays and make sure planes were in the right place at the right time. The same power could be used for big, complex systems. For example, managing a city's traffic. The quantum computer could control all the traffic lights. It would change the lights in real time to make traffic flow smoothly. That means less time stuck in traffic jams. It could also help manage the electricity grid. The grid is a complex network of power plants, wires. The quantum computer could make it more stable and efficient. It could prevent blackouts and send power where it was needed most. The power of finding the best path or optimization had a huge impact. It made our world more efficient. It saved time, money, resources. This quiet revolution in logistics made our whole world run a little bit better. The arrival of the quantum computer did not make everyone rich. Like other big changes in history, it created winners and losers. The biggest winners were the people and countries that had the new machine. They owned the quantum advantage. They could create new industries, new medicines, new materials first. Companies that used quantum computing to design their products became leaders. Their products were better, cheaper, and came to market faster. A new group of quantum billionaires emerged. These were the scientists and engineers who built and ran the new technology. The losers were those who could not keep up. Companies that relied on the old way of doing things fell behind. Think of a company that makes chemicals through long, slow experiments. A new company using a quantum computer could design a better chemical in a day. The old company could not compete. Many jobs also changed. Some jobs disappeared. For example, some types of data analysis could now be done better by a quantum AI. But new jobs were also created. We needed quantum engineers to run the machines and quantum chemists to use them. People had to learn new skills to work in this new world. The gap between rich and poor countries also grew wider at first. The country with the quantum computer had a huge economic and military advantage. Other countries had to pay to use the new technology, or they were left behind. This created a new kind of global power structure. The world had to find a way to share the benefits of this new technology. Section 7. A world with one owner, the quantum core. In the first years, the world faced a new reality. Only one country had a working, large-scale quantum computer. This created a single-owner world. The country with the machine became the world's quantum core. They had a power that no one else had. They could break any code. They could design any material. They could create super-smart AI. This was a bigger power gap than the one created by the atomic bomb. The country did not need to use military force. Their technological advantage was enough to make them the most powerful nation on Earth. The quantum core country organized the world into layers. Graphic, central glowing core with concentric rings labeled inner circle, industrial network, outer world. First layer, the core, the nation that owned the machine. They had full control. Second layer, the inner circle, a small group of close allies, given limited access to the quantum computer. Used for approved projects, medical research, climate science. In return, they had to be loyal partners, a powerful alliance, bound by shared access to the future. Third layer, the industrial network. Many countries and large global companies. Not allies, but important for trade. They could pay to use the quantum computer for business problems. Car companies, design a more efficient engine. Drug companies, simulate a new medicine. This layer was a customer of the quantum core. They got benefits, but remained dependent. They had no real power. Final layer, the outer world, included rival countries or countries too poor to join. They were left out. They had no access to the new technology. Their economies struggled to compete. Their digital systems were not secure. They fell further and further behind. The layered world was stable, but not fair. The great question, would this model last? Would the quantum core share its power more freely? Or would the world remain divided into quantum haves and have-nots? That was the real uncertainty. Section 8, Spreading the Power, How Change Will Happen. The single-owner world could not last forever. Knowledge of how to build a quantum computer would slowly spread. Other countries would work hard to build their own. The timeline for this spread of power was important. It would shape the next 30 years of history. The change would happen in phases, as the technology became more common. It would be a slow journey from a single owner to a world where many have quantum power. Here is a likely timeline for how the technology will spread. Monopoly, alliance, competitive, diffusion. Years 0 to 3. The quantum monopoly. They use it to secure their own systems and gain a huge lead in science and industry. They set up the quantum core model. The rest of the world is in a reactive mode, trying to understand the change and protect themselves. Years 3 to 7. The alliance phase. A few close allies in the inner circle start to build their own smaller quantum computers, with help from the quantum core. The technology is still very rare, but it is no longer in just one place. Years 7 to 15, the competitive phase. Other major countries, China, Russia, a united Europe, finally build their own large-scale quantum computers. The monopoly is broken. A new era of competition begins. This could be a dangerous time with a quantum arms race, but it also means the technology is spreading more widely. Years 15 to 30, the diffusion phase. Building a quantum computer becomes easier and cheaper. More countries, and even some very large companies. The technology starts to become a more common tool, like today's supercomputers. The world moves from a few quantum powers to many. This spread of technology will change geopolitics. In the first phase, cooperation is forced. Countries must work with the quantum core or be left behind. In the competitive phase, new alliances will form. Countries with quantum computers might work together. In the final diffusion phase, a new global system might be needed. We might need a quantum agency, like the International Atomic Energy Agency, to make sure the technology is used safely and for peaceful purposes. The journey from monopoly to a multipolar quantum world will be complex and full of challenges. Section 9. A Doctor's New Hope, a Human Story. Dr. Lena Hansen was a cancer researcher in Stockholm. For 15 years, she had been studying a rare type of brain cancer that affected children. The cancer was very aggressive. Most children did not survive for more than a year. Lena and her team had tried everything. They had tested hundreds of drugs in the lab. A few showed a little promise, but none of them worked well enough. The problem was the cancer's protein structure. It was incredibly complex, like a tangled ball of string. They could not figure out how to attack it without harming the child's brain. Lena felt like she was failing her patients every day. Then, in 2028, Sweden was invited to join the industrial network. For a high price, her hospital could rent time on the quantum core. They had only 10 hours of access. The whole team worked for weeks to prepare. They gathered all their data on the cancer's protein. They wrote a program to ask the quantum computer one question. What is the exact shape of this protein? What keyhole can we use to unlock and disable it? They uploaded the problem and waited. The answer came back in just 4 minutes. It was a perfect three-dimensional model of the protein. It showed a small, hidden pocket, a weakness they had never seen. The quantum computer did more. It simulated 10 million different small molecules. It searched for one that would fit perfectly into that hidden pocket. It found 3 candidates, molecules that could, in theory, stop the cancer, like a perfect key for the protein's lock. Lena's team went back to the lab. They synthesized the first molecule. It was a long shot, based on a computer model from halfway around the world. They tested it on cancer cells in a dish. It worked. It stopped the cancer cells from growing. It did not harm the healthy brain cells. For the first time in 15 years, Lena felt a surge of hope. It was not a cure yet. There would be years of testing ahead, but it was a real path forward, a key found in 4 minutes after 15 years of searching in the dark. She thought of her young patients. She thought of their parents. The hum of a machine in a distant country had given them a chance. For Lena, the quantum age was not about codes or power. It was about this, finding a small piece of hope in a place where there was none before. A computer had shown them how to fight back. Section 10. The Road Ahead, Our Quantum Future. The world of October 20th, 2025 is now our past. The arrival of a working 128-qubit quantum computer marked the start of a new technological revolution. This was not a small step. It was a leap into a new reality. The change it brought was fast, deep, and uneven. It first broke our digital world, forcing a rapid switch to new, safer codes. Then, it began to build a new world. It gave us the power to design new materials, create new medicines, build smarter AI. It made our world more efficient, from global shipping, city traffic. This tool gave us the ability to solve some of humanity's hardest problems. However, this new power also created deep divisions. The quantum core model, where one nation held all the power, shaped the first decade. It created a world of winners, losers, insiders, outsiders. This has led to a more divided world, at least for now. The great challenge of the next 10 to 15 years will be managing this power as it spreads. We will move from a world with one quantum power to a world with many. This will be a time of both great opportunity and great risk. We must work together to ensure this technology is used to benefit all of humanity, not just a select few. The story of Dr. Hansen shows us the human side of this change. Behind the geopolitics and the economics, this is a story about new tools to solve old problems. It is about finding cures for diseases, building a cleaner planet, expanding human knowledge. The quantum computer is a tool. Like any tool, it can be used for good, ill. The choice is ours.